Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's a little later in the day than normal than when I would usually record because the sun is setting, but I thought I really wanted to talk about this topic. I wanted to talk about performativity. An ongoing topic right now in our society, in our generation. I think it's kind of a little bit controversial. Maybe I also said that I wanted to start like putting the definition because I feel like it's really helpful for people. So performativity is the idea that certain actions, especially language, don't just describe reality but actively create it. And you know, that's always been a topic, especially in like queer studies and gender studies. I'm talking more about like performativity in our generation today, not just in queer studies or, you know, in a certain niche or in a certain group. I also want to put the definition to perform, which is to carry out, accomplish, or fulfill an action, task, or function. Present. And so why I wanted to talk about these definitions is because I think that they're so ironic in today's society. Based on their definitions, they're talking about doing actions in the present time to become a certain thing. I actually think that performativity in our world right now is so connotated with something negative. It has such a negative connotation because of how we are performing and how we are using it. Which brings me to the first way that we see ourselves using it is through social media. And social media is like one of the biggest ways anyone can perform or it's the most available way to perform. I am not completely against performativity. I believe that if you are doing it correctly, yes, you can achieve so much for yourself. But I also believe that performativity is also holding your true potential. Social media, I think it's really holding anyone's true potential. People are using it on social media is to portray oneself in a way that they want to be or want to show. And a lot of us, or a lot of people in this world, are really selling themselves short by wanting to perform on social media. Well, there is such a nice way of being mysterious that really gets us to want us looking for more. I don't blame society and people wanting to curate their pages and their looks a certain way because of how social media has been given to us as time has passed. And social media has just become more of a tool for capitalism, brand companies to show campaigns, to communicate, and so the language that we are now experiencing on social media is a really kind of higher class, upper class kind of feel. And so we're seeing a lot of more people trying to curate their dumps and look higher class, look put together, look like they have money. I post dumps and I do curate them, but that's just me. I've always been like that. I've always wanted my feed to look nice, but I believe when I was younger, I was so pressured into being on top of trends and looking a certain way to feel like valued or to feel cool. And I feel like a lot of the world is kind of falling into that category again. Everyone says like 2016 was such a 2016 was such a memorable year. We were actually performing in a way that was present, as the definition says, really present in that area. You know, We were also just more carefree. We were using Snapchat. We were posting things in real time. Time has changed and we don't feel safe enough to do that anymore. So we can't even really be our authentic selves in that time that we post. So it has given us so much restraint. And I think now people, when they think about social media or having to perform or having to become an influencer, everything has to be perfect, really taking away from the present. Like if you think about it, like we're so focused on making everything look so right and put together that we're losing sight of what we're actually looking at. It's like going to a concert and everyone has their phone out, but like we're looking through the screen, but we're like not even seeing the person in front of us like anymore. Like we're not even taking in that moment. So I think social media is like one of the biggest things that has really navigated us to also now use different forms of media, which is what I also wanted to talk about. Is now you'll be seeing a lot of people using digital cameras, film cameras, old school cameras, and this has been a giant wave that has been coming back. And I think it's the people's way and reaction of, or the people's way of reclaiming this idea of presence when they want to document things has become such a job to be on social media that now that we are utilizing external things to really capture a moment or save a memory, it just speaks for itself. I really love using my film camera. I haven't used it in a while, and I was just speaking on that with one of my friends, and I think a really good exercise is to really just go out into the world and walk and just take pics, and not let anyone see them. She was taking pictures on her film camera to see how her film worked and what settings she liked, and I think that's also a really nice practice to practice in one's life, is to, hey, like I don't want to post on social media, but I really want to take more pictures and I really want to have memories to myself. I've been so okay with taking pictures and having them for me, and I don't feel the pressure or need to share everything anymore to be liked or to be seen. I also wanted to talk about fences. Like, what is going on with that? Like I, no shade, like anyone who has a Finsta, like you do you. Like I deleted my Finsta like I think like more than 5 years ago now. Like it's been so long. I feel like people are also really curating their Finstas, and like we've lost the plot. We lost the plot completely. These were supposed to be for fun. Like they were fake Insta. Like post what you want. Like why do you even have a main if you're curating on your Finsta? That's what you want. And I think that's really, it really speaks volume because we are losing our authenticity so much with performativity in media, and it's really kind of sad because sometimes when we perform too much we lose oneself and we lose who we really are. And authenticity really just starts from, hey, like I like this, so I'm gonna do this. I think that's what authenticity is. Like you just choosing what you want to do, saying, hey, like this sound is really funny, I'm just gonna make it with my friend, not overthink about it, not think about it too long, just living in the presence. Meanings are kind of being intertwined and reversed because it feels so reversed in our society. It has made us feel the need to have things that we really don't need. And I really wanted to touch on this topic because our world is really like getting claustrophobic. Like it's getting small in here. Like it's feeling small. Like it's feeling like I can't breathe. Going to Marshall's, and why am I going into my job and there's already piled boxes of things that we already have, that are already stocked? Like, we are so like used to seeing people buying things, showing us hauls. Like, they were fun. They were fun back when I was 10. Putting so much pressure and making people feel incompetent because they don't have all these things, when in reality, like, that's not what a normal person has. These things that we're buying off TikTok shop or Instagram are like not really well made, like, because we think we're so um we have everything, but we really don't have nothing. Like, I've been performing to sell us things more often, and making us feel like we need to buy them, but there's just so much on this earth that we can already be valuing and loving and repurposing and taking care of. We don't really care about maintaining things. We just kind of are on to the next thing, which is kind of sad because we also learn to not value things as much anymore. And so I think performativity has a lot of negative effects onto the world. You guys have any correlation or comments on how performativity has affected you personally, or you've seen it affect other things? You can put it in the comment. But that's all I have for today. So thank you for watching.